Lima Land. It's the Three Wise Men. I'm Danny Holbrook, joined by Miles Holliday and Nate Garlock. We're off this week. We want to wish each and every one of you a happy Thanksgiving. But we've got some interviews that we'd like to show you, and we've got some great people. Jeff and Braden Klaus was here. Aaron and Cam Elwer were here. And Beckett and Nick Berkey was here. So sit back, enjoy the interviews, have a great holiday season, and we'll see you next week on the Three Wise Men. It's interview time here on the Three Wise Men. I'm joined by Delphos St. John's head boys basketball coach Aaron Elwer and senior guard Cam Elwer. Gentlemen, thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Absolutely. And Mark Shine here. I forgot about you, Mark. Yeah, let's start with you, Coach. Look, we've talked basketball before, and I'm sure you get all the basketball coaches. I want to know how this started for you. How did you get into coaching, and where did it all begin?
Yeah. A long time ago, obviously I'm a 1998 graduate of Delphos St. John's, and there I played 3 different sports. I was a football player, basketball player, and baseball player, and baseball player was my love. I always enjoyed that. It was my most natural of the 3. But my freshman year kind of goes back to my biggest mentor, Brett Norris. Got a teaching job at Delphos St. John's, and he was the head freshman coach, which was my freshman year, and very tough, very demanding, very intense, but was an experience that has really shaped me to where I am today. I took a liking to that. He then became the varsity head coach my sophomore year, and fortunately and unfortunately in some ways played for him really all 4 years. And that was always in the back of my head. I enjoyed that experience. Then I played baseball at the University of St. Francis for 4 years. And, I got to think if I was going to get into coaching, it would have been baseball. And I graduated in December. I came back to St. John's and helped coach Norris, helped coach that season. And it kind of just took off from there. I did a little baseball coaching as well, but of the 2, I enjoyed the pace of basketball, the competition of basketball, being in the indoors in Ohio versus baseball in the spring. That was the start of it. He got me started. I grew to love it, and it's why I'm doing what I'm doing today.
That's fantastic. All right, senior year. It's hard to say senior year, isn't it?
Crazy.
It's unbelievable.
It's crazy.
I remember watching you as a freshman, and we were so excited, and you just gotten better and better and better. And it's been a great 4 years, hasn't it?
Oh, it's been amazing. Playing for him and then playing with my brothers now. It's just a dream come true. We've kind of always knew this would happen, but it's just kind of crazy to experience it now. Like it's here. But just trying to take it all in and be grateful for it.
Yeah, and you know where you're going after school. You're going to Furman. Congratulations on that. Talk a little bit about that, because when that commitment came down, all of us guys in the media around, we're like, whoa, where'd that come from? So congratulations on you guys for keeping that kind of under the vest.
Yeah, no. Towards the end of my recruitment, I kind of kept it just between my family and then the coaches and then close kind of mentors and people that are in my corner. But Furman offered me in July or August, and we set up an official visit to Furman early August, and I loved it. I kind of had a gut feeling on the visit that this would be my home, and credit to the coaching staff and the players that they just made me feel at home. And then I ended up committing there just a week ago.
That's fantastic.
Coach, as a basketball coach, you've helped other guys go through the recruiting process. So with Cam, were you dad helping him through this, or coach helping him through this, or how'd that play out for you?
Well, not just the recruiting process. I think I wear 2 different hats, almost on a daily basis with him and our other sons. It was twofold. I obviously was on the visits with him, and so I got to see firsthand what he was seeing firsthand. And so I at times I was dad, and then other times it was the coaching part of the basketball part of it. And we had good conversations, my wife included. It was a kind of a 3-person, meeting. But eventually we all agreed that, it was up to Cameron to make that decision, because it was his next home and it's what he felt most comfortable with. And that's really where it was. And to kind of piggyback on his answer, he committed to Furman, and he got his list down to 4 great schools. And it was a really difficult decision for him. And it was really a gut instinct on how the players treated him, how he felt with the people there. And it was hard. Like the 4 schools, give them all credit. They recruited him really, really well. And it was hard for him. And it was really cool as a dad, to watch him take on big conversations, tough conversations, and handle it the way he did. And then to kind of go, with your question about not putting anything out there on social media, today it's such a tough day, and everybody wants to promote themselves, their sons. For him to do that and kind of not put those out there, and he had a great spring and summer and blew up AAU-wise. He had a lot of offers that people don't know about, and that's a credit to him, and a strength of his is him being humble and allowing the whole process to play out on his calendar. And so from a dad perspective, it was really, really neat.
A couple of questions, Cam, kind of following up what Coach said. From March of 25, when you lost in the tournament, to November when practice starts again, what were your goals to improve on? And then where do you want to be from now to when you go to Furman this time next year?
Yeah, obviously I kind of think of it from a team standpoint, not only just myself. I understand that to win at the highest level, you got to have 5 guys, 7 guys that you trust and are kind of will make a play. So I think just inviting guys to the gym and getting shots with them, and then just kind of talking with them through my confidence in them. Hopefully they can feel that from me, that I have the most confidence with them. So I think, just building them up, understanding how to keep playing as a team and push the chemistry. And then we've been grinding for the past couple months, and whether that's weight room, conditioning, or it's on the court. Just really excited to get after it this year.
What do you want to do with your game between now and when you go to Furman next fall?
Yeah, obviously it's a huge jump from high school basketball to Division I. I think just kind of the fundamentals it goes back to when I started playing basketball. It's just the room for error for me at that level it's small. So just making decisions when they need to be made, and then just playing to my strengths and understanding what I can and can't do at that level.
Cam, I want to ask you 2 questions. Is it tough sometimes being Cam Elwer from Delphos, Ohio? I mean, with all the notoriety and your dad talks about you not, promoting yourself a lot, which I think is so refreshing in today's era. And the second thing is it tough playing for dad at times? Because I coached my kids, and I mean that in a really good way, because I'm sure that sometimes you're trying to figure out what dad needs, what dad wants, that kind of thing. Yeah,
no, I definitely try to stay humble and to my beginnings, and just thankful for everybody that's helped me get to this point in my life. I wouldn't be here without them, my family, my friends, and the man above. But there's some up and downs being coached by him. We don't always see eye to eye, but we understand each other. We know each other's strengths and weaknesses, and I trust him and he trusts me, and that's why we've been so successful together.
And I'm going to go right back to you, Coach. That's got to be an incredible feeling. And I don't want to get too emotional here, but coaching your own kids and just being there with them every day. And he doesn't understand that, but we do. Talk a little bit about that journey.
Yeah, he has no idea. I mean, it's okay. He will someday.
He will. That's right.
Someday he will. He's been with us a long time, from the time we're in the gym when he was 2 and 3. And he was a ball boy for every game. He was on the bus with me in the locker room after great wins, after tough losses. So he has seen me, the team, in a bunch of different ways, and I think that's kind of molded him to who he is today. Like, he's been on the bench since he's been 4 years old to just see big games and how it's played and what is expected. I think being a coach's son has that advantage a little bit. Certainly not always easy. I knew the day was coming where I'd coach my own sons, and so up to that point I would reach out to head coaches who have been through it and see how they did it. But eventually, the best advice was, your son better than anybody, and
right.
Coach it that way.
That's
and
right.
Another big one was to leave it at the gym, whether it was good or bad. So very, very rarely, I've made a conscious effort to leave it, whether it be on the short drive home or in the office, and very rarely is it brought up at home. Not saying that it never has been, but in the course of 4 years, and Andrew's coming and then Keaton just starting, like, very rarely is it brought in our house, and that was really number one for me.
What do you? And I'm going to piggyback on that. What do you guys do as a family to relax when you want to get away? I know he talked about baseball earlier, being a relaxation, but look, we've all coached. We know what the noise can be like. What do you guys do to get away from it?
we kind of go our separate ways, honestly. Me, Keaton, and Andrew, we kind of stick together, whether it's playing video games or playing outside. We this summer we actually got into like just chipping outside in the backyard. I think just kind of stepping away from all that and coming back to our roots of how we grew up and how we were raised has helped us tremendously.
Yeah, we don't do a whole lot. We really don't. We're a simple family, and I think it's just when things aren't crazy and busy, we stay at home, and whether we talk, communicate, or like Cam said, they do some things on their own, and they've taken up the game of golf a little bit, and they all have work to do there. That is for sure. So it's just, it's pretty simple and it's pretty laid back.
When did you know, Coach? When did you know you had a special player?
Yeah. A long time ago. I've got random stories, and this is crazy, but he was 9 months old, and my wife and I were downstairs, and we kind of had heard something hitting our wall. And we go around the corner, and at that point, Cameron was 9 months old, and he had crawled over, and he was sitting down with one of his little orange balls and bounce passing it off the wall to himself. And Chris and I looked at each other like, that's not normal. So,
that's not normal for high school kids.
No, it's not. And then it just kind of grew from there, when we were getting in the gym, and whether he had one ball in his hands or he had two balls in his hands. And okay, I'm not a big film guy, but I would film some of it and send it to my wife. And I'm like, you got to get a look. You got to see this. And she'd reply back, she'd like, oh my gosh. So it was really early on. Then, obviously he got into kindergarten and started to play up with some third and fourth graders to practice with them a little bit because he needed to be challenged. And, we knew early on, he moved differently. His work ethic was different. His ability to concentrate and do the small things over and over again without getting bored and asking why, just different. Like to do boring things over and over again and to rep them as the process just kept going. We knew he was unique, and we knew he was different at a really early age.
Cam, I got a 12-year-old grandson. If he wants to play basketball, what has your life been, fundamental skill-wise, time in the gym-wise, since you were, let's say, 12?
Yeah, it's been a grind. I think when you get your license, it's a whole different kind of thing. It's kind of a freedom thing. It's like you're bored, you drive up to the gym, you don't have to bother him, you get his keys, and you check in and grind. But I think just understanding how important the fundamentals are. You have to be able to have good footwork, good form, and that just kind of takes you to the next level. Once you kind of get great at those things, elite at those things, everything comes naturally. The game slows down, and you become a better player.
And you've been in the weight room.
Oh yeah.
What kind of program do you use?
We actually have Coach Pullman. He kind of oversees multiple kind of sports, and he's done a great job. He took over, I think, 3 years ago. So we're in there 3 days a week, 6 a.m. And we're in there grinding with our non-fall sports guys.
Cam, look, expectations are sky high for this year. You've got talented players. You've got a great coaching staff. With the success you guys have had the last couple of years, what does success look like this year? And I know the goal is a state championship, but what does success look like?
Yeah. We were at Midwest Live this summer, and we kind of talked about the end goal, which was to win the whole thing. And that was the last time we were going to talk about it. It's more about enjoying the process, enjoying the time that we have left together, and everything else will come with that. So just enjoying the whole process and just leaving it all out there.
See, this needs to go out to all the high schools in Northwest. This is exactly what I'm talking about. Coach, let me ask you this. Does it ever hit you that you're coaching at tradition-rich Delphos St. John's? Like everybody in the state, no matter where you're at, when you say Delphos St. John's, they know that is the home of Bob Arns and Alan Quartergeist. And we just go on and on and on. And now the all-time leading scorer in the history of maybe one of the finest schools in the state.
Yeah. I try not to think of it too much because I don't want to get overwhelmed. No, that's okay. I actually, when I took the job, I tried to, mentally say that to myself, like, don't let it be bigger than what you think it is. Although it is a big deal. Mm-hmm. It is a special place. Yeah. There is so much tradition, from Hall of Fame coaches to state champions to great players to great teams. If you get caught up in that, it can maybe hold you back a little bit or stress you out to a degree. And it's not really how I approach it. Like, I put enough pressure on myself. I don't need that from the outside. I think it's a good thing though, like, to be in this position, to be here 19 years and to have that support from the community and our administration that has allowed me to get to this point to coach him and hopefully my 2 other sons. And, it's something at some point I'll look back and, how cool of an experience it was. And I think sometimes you get caught up and you don't get to really, really enjoy it. But someday I'll look back and be thankful for so many people that have been so supportive for myself, our staff, the way we do things, and really the players that have played for me.
You like playing in Robert A. Arnson Gymnasium?
I love it. There's nothing better. These game day experiences are phenomenal. Those sold out games. I'm extremely blessed to be able to play in that.
It's one of my favorite facilities, but wouldn't you rather be in some 5,000 seat high school arena? And
I don't think so.
He's going to do that next year. Let's say he'll get to that point.
That's funny because every time somebody asks me, where's your favorite place to broadcast from? I said, it's not even close. It's Delta St. John. Yeah. When I walk back there, I graduated in the 80s. I'm an old guy. When I walk into that gym, it's like going back in time for where I played at. Yep. And that's something. Let me ask you this before we get to our rapid fire questions. I always ask every player we have on here, the one school you want to beat the most. I won't ask your dad that because he's a coach, but I want to ask you the one school that you want to beat the most.
I'd say the next one. But if I had to give you an answer, I'd probably say Minster. We've had battles with them since 4th grade. It's just so exciting and fun to play against them and battle against them. And I have the utmost respect for Coach McClurg and all he's done for that program. And I just love battling against those guys.
I Spencerville and Delta St. John's last year, what a game that was. But what I noticed was the respect you and the Sensabaugh brothers have for each other. That was so fun to watch you guys do that. Yeah. Did you have a good relationship with those guys?
Yeah. I played AAU with them kind of when I was younger, and I've gotten to know them really well and their family really well. And it's always fun to see them kind of out and about and have a good laugh with them and talk for a little bit. But, yeah, we've had a good relationship.
Coach, you got 9 MAC Friday nights. That's just a grind. It's a challenge because you got to. Who are you looking at? Who's going to be the top of your conference this year?
Yeah, it's very hard. Just any sport, you guys know it's well documented. Last year we had 3 really good games. 2 of them returned a lot of players. Marion Local, who had a great game at our place, and obviously made it to the state finals. They returned a really good core. St. Henry gave us a really good game at our place and returned a young core that they will be much improved. And then Versailles will come to our place. Drake Arns has played for 4 years, Blake Monin, and will be back as a junior. And and us included there for recovery. They're getting better on the football field. If you look at their athletes, they had some long, lengthy young kids that played last year. Somewhere in there, those 4 or 5 schools will be there, and will make it difficult for whoever the champion will be.
And when you're over, you're going into the tournament knowing you're well prepared.
Yeah, no doubt. The one thing maybe in our league that doesn't prepare is different styles of play. You get what you get in the MAC. It's tough. It's physical. And sometimes that may not prepare you for some of the teams you may face in a tournament, but you're battle tested. Like if you're not tough on Friday nights, it's not going to bode well for you.
All right, guys, Miles isn't here. He does the rapid fire questions. I got 5 rapid fire questions for you. Not a lot to do about basketball, but we'll throw them out there and each of you respond to them. Most competitive person in the Elwer family?
It's me. I hate to lose in anything. And I think he'd be able to say that. Like any board game is –
it's the Michael Jordan theory, right?
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of competition in our household. Cameron's right there. I got to think I'm more competitive than him, but I get that. So it's probably him or I.
Okay. Yeah. Best cook in the Elwer family?
It's Mom. She does a great job with that. We're blessed to have her. We definitely would
Does
not be
Dad cook?
here. He's kind of taken that up for the past couple of years, on his little Traeger and his grill.
The grill guy, okay.
So she does a great job how she manages all 5 and her job and everything we're doing, especially during the winter. These traveling in the spring, AAU, how she does things is pretty incredible. And but yeah, we'll vote Mom.
All right, here's the toughest one. This may not have happened, but when did Dad first lose one-on-one to Cam? Or has it happened?
I don't think happened. That you've lost to me or that you beat me? because it kind of got to a point where it's just like you didn't do it anymore.
I'm pretty smart. I know when to stop. I wasn't going to keep doing it. I got to junior high and I was done.
Right.
And up to that point, I did I wanted to guard those guys, a bigger, stronger body on them. And so we would do some things where I'm in the gym doing those things. But it got to a point where I was like, this is good that I'm
There's a reason he's a successful guy. He knows when to get out.
Yeah, right.
All right. Favorite thing to do other than basketball?
Spend time with family and friends, for sure.
Yeah, spend time with the family.
All right. Hidden talent each of you have that nobody knows about, but everybody's going to see it on this show.
Probably pickleball.
Pickleball?
Yeah,
Are you 75?
I've grown to enjoy pickleball, playing with my friends. It's been fun.
I want to get into it. It's fun. Right?
It's super fun.
Yeah.
I'm a big sauna guy, and I finish it with a cold plunge, ice plunge.
There you go.
So that's kind of part of my daily
I
routine.
just got a sauna for my garage, so
There you
I'm
go.
excited about
Yep.
that. The cold plunge doesn't excite me.
You'll get
but
into it.
Yeah. Well, guys, this has been fantastic. Best of luck this year. You guys are doing it right over there. Best of luck on your next adventure, and let's try to get a state title this
Thank
year.
you. We appreciate it.
Sounds good. Thanks
Absolutely.
for having us on. We appreciate it.
Absolutely. It's interview time here on the Three Wise Men, and the officials are in the house. Jeff and Braden Klaus. Gentlemen, thanks for stopping by.
I appreciate the opportunity for having us and using this platform to talk about officiating.
Yeah, we're going to talk about officiating. We're going to ask you some tough questions. Miles has got some rapid fire questions, and Nate will ask the smart questions. How about that?
Sounds like a plan.
Listen, if we're in a state now where I am the smart one on here, this show jumped the shark, and it is time to move on.
No, he gets the jump the shark reference. You don't get that reference?
No, I don't.
Okay. All right, guys. Let's just start off. When did you guys get into officiating? How did you get into officiating? How long have you been in officiating? I know not long for you because you're young.
So I'll start here. It's been 20 years now. I had two younger brothers that played basketball and watched them play, and had the fortunate opportunity to live across the street from Bob Arnzen. So he took me to school every day. So basketball's been drilled in me and drilled in me and drilled in me. And I wanted to be a coach just like him. And after watching my brothers play, I wasn't the pleasant of fans. And one day my dad looked at me and said, "You think you can do better than him?" So I took that as a challenge, looked up on OHSA how to become an official, went over to Parkway High School and met with Tim Busher and Ron Goldman. Still in contact with both of them today. And they taught me the things to do, some things not to do. And basically the rest is history. So
What do you enjoy the most about it, Jeff?
to be honest, a lot of my closest friends now are officials.
Yeah.
I've met a lot of people, and especially me traveling a little bit more with my schedule, have met people from other states, from as far as like Missouri even, that, we are in constant text communication, sharing plays. So it's been a cool ride.
Does it change how you watch a game? Because when I coached football, I'd always watch it from a coach's perspective instead of a fan. Do you guys watch games thinking what you do if you're the official as opposed as a fan?
Oh, 1,000%. I mean, even Braden and I, unfortunately, we're Browns fans. So,
I'm sorry.
yeah.
Here we are.
Yeah, exactly. We were watching the game yesterday, and there was that kickoff play and about the ball being touched. Well, our rule on the high school side is differently than the NFL. And Braden and I were just basically sitting beside each other, and we started talking about that play, because sometimes he sits it back judge for us, and a play that could easily happen to him happened in the NFL game yesterday. So
Braden, Dad talked about how he got into it. I mean, obviously seeing Dad, I'm sure, kind of led you down that path, but what was it that finally you decided, all right, this is what I want to do too. I want to go out there. And I mean, obviously being as young as you are, it's not a lot of things that you see very often at, kids your age.
Yeah, no, of course, going and seeing Dad ref and coming home from my 6th and 5th grade practices, I would be like, "Dad, you leave yet?" And no, he's still there. So I'm like, "Here, let me go with him. I'm going to go to his games with him." So I was definitely like, this is definitely something I want to do, being around the people he's been around. And it's just something that's always been with me, and I've always wanted to do it. And I've had goals, and I still have goals I want to do when I get older.
So how long have you been doing it now?
This is year 5 for me, but it is my first year of varsity football.
Okay.
Yeah, and it was a lot of fun.
Coach has been nice to you first year?
Yes, they have.
Really? Okay.
I did have a St. John scrimmage, and Coach Schulte got on me.
I bet he did.
Yeah, he still gives me crap.
He wanted him more in football pads than he wanted him out there in referee stripes.
Now, look, you guys are the first guests I think ever, right, that came prepared with notes, right?
Yeah.
So that shows me you guys like to be prepared. How much work goes into it during a week for a football game to get yourselves ready for that game?
Really, it's not as much as you would think. There are some things, especially more with football than with basketball. I am the crew chief of my crew, so travel arrangements I've kind of made it somebody else's responsibility, and he does a great job doing that. But it's getting game film, breaking down game film, emailing the ADs that this is our arrival time. We'll have so many cars and stuff like that. But then if there's any interesting plays, like trying to find rule references, trying to share plays with people, and just try to get better on the long run. So it's a constant thing. Just nothing that you have to do a set time every week.
Do you pay attention when a coach in a pregame meeting says, hey, be aware they do this, right? Does that really help you guys out?
Oh, 100%. We ask them in our pregame meetings with them, do you have any unusual plays that we need to be aware of? So sometimes they tip you off, sometimes they don't, and we just roll with the punches. Sometimes we even call it out and go to the rule books eventually. So, it's a coach's appeal, coach's challenge at that time, and we have to do that. So
what do you guys want the general public who come to the games and watch you guys officiate, what do you want them to know about officials? The people that sit there and say, oh, you don't know this, what do you want them to know about what you guys do out there?
Well, first off, I would say we're human. And I think that we all make mistakes. I told my wife that if I referee the perfect game, I'll quit, and I'm 20 years in. Okay.
Let us know what that happens.
Yeah, absolutely. But there's a lot of things, especially for me, and I'm just speaking of me, but I know of guys and gals that I surround myself with that we take this very seriously.
Sure.
It's a second job for us. There's been plays that I have totally screwed up, rules that I've screwed up, and I wear that on my shoulder, and you can't sleep. You toss and turn, and all you want to do is go out on the field or on the court and get another opportunity to get that bad taste out of your mouth. So
yeah, you never hear a coach says, "Man, you got that call right?" Right?
No.
Thanks for penalizing us.
Right. So you said you've been doing it for 20 years. You've been doing it for 5. So I'm sure even in your short amount of time, and obviously over your 20 years, a lot has changed. What are some of the big changes that you each have seen during your time officiating?
I myself have not seen a lot. I know Dad's been telling me recently when we were talking about coming here that there was a lot of changes that he had, but for me, there's not been much. I don't do much basketball. Me being an athlete and playing basketball, I don't get to do much basketball, so football is more my main thing. But just working my first year of varsity, there's a lot of different varsity rules, and there is midget football rules, definitely.
Is there a sport that you're like, there's just way too many rules on this one? What's the most difficult sport to officiate? Is it?
Yeah, football, there's some crazy different scenarios that they can be in and number restrictions. And I mean, there's so many eyes out there, of course, to watch the different players, but it can get tricky at times. Some things that I've seen, just to hop on that question, when I started, we had paper contracts that would get mailed to us by athletic directors. And you'd get an envelope that'd be this thick, and you'd have to keep your calendar and put a stamp on it and send your signed contracts back. That has moved to electronic contracts now, and we've done different things. We've done like Dragonfly and MyOSHA and all these different things on the computer side through through Ohio High School. Probably the biggest thing that has changed is when I first started as a JV official, I got to get picked up by the varsity official, like if we met at X, Y, and Z place. And I had to stay for the whole varsity game because they were my ride.
Oh, sure.
Well, now that's not the case anymore. We've kind of gone away from that. I think that is kind of our decline in officiating a little bit because we don't have that connection piece really anymore, where we're kind of honing the JV officials and making them like stay and watch varsity games. But that would be a big thing that I think has changed over the time, and I think it's our responsibility as veteran officials to really kind of latch on to some of the newer people and just not throw them to the wolves. And because that's our main thing. We're getting a lot of people sign up for the classes and come out and officiating, and then they just get thrown to the wolves. It's retaining them for that second year that's our struggle point right now.
That's where I want to go with this.
Sure.
How did we get to this point where officiating is becoming a problem with less people?
Sure. My humbling opinion, I think it's a combination of a lot of things. I think our economy has done some stuff with it. I mean, if we're in a bad economy, people are looking for jobs, and officiating is an awesome way to make money. I mean, it really is, and Braden can even talk about that. Social media is a huge play, just because of how many clips can be out there like that, and your face and your reputation is on, and it can be worldwide before you even know it.
Yeah.
And then when I took the class, like, I had to designate myself every Wednesday or Thursday, I forget how long ago it was, that we would go for 3 hours at Parkway High School. And they would teach us Rule 1, and then next week they'd teach us Rule 2. And then we got on-court experience with a veteran class official teaching us the class. Braden, we got him through a guy I knew from Wright State that basically was offering the class to people at Wright State. But I was like, can Braden sign up with you, though he can't make the class, but send me the material and I'll teach Braden the class. So we did that, and there's been some schools. I know you mentioned that some schools do it too. But now I got my 14-year-old son, my other 14-year-old son, Braxton. He got licensed for his birthday. That's what he wanted.
Yeah.
And so, but it's all online now. They made it easier, accessible to do it.
Smart.
But it's just that follow-up, and like you take the class, like you take a driving test.
Yeah.
But you don't drive a car.
Yeah, you hear people always say it's very difficult, right? But it's not, right? Anyone can really sign up if you have common sense, right?
Sure.
Anyone can get through it. And it's not expensive to do, right? If Nate says he wants to be an official, how much is it going to cost him to go through the whole process?
So it's $70. And basically you can make that back in your first scrimmage. Now the classwork and the coursework that like I ran through with Braxton was like 20 hours of filming. So it's like a PowerPoint session, and you have a test at the end of each session. Now that test is 10 questions, and you can take it as many times as you want. And then they tell you, like, this is the questions you got wrong, and kind of reiterate those questions. But then at the end, you take the main test, and you got to pass by like a 75%, I think. But it's definitely doable, but it does take some initiative and some wanting to be done too.
Well, Braden, it's kind of important that you're in this spot, right? Because as a young official, I'm sure you have buddies that say, hey, what is it like to be an official, right? And if you can get them interested, that there's the whole next generation of guys that can be officials.
Right. No, yeah. Recently, I've been reffing flag footballs on like Mondays and Tuesdays, and I've been fortunate enough to assign football games. So I've been going around talking to some of my friends, and we've been working flag football. So I'm trying to get them in the flow of things, seeing if they like it or not, and seeing if they'd want to jump up and
making good money doing it, right?
Right, exactly. Yeah.
That's one of the things that we've been hearing over the last 4, 5, 6, 7 years, right? Is the officiating, the shortage. We're starting to age out. You have a lot of really long-term officials with a lot of knowledge who are leaving, but not a lot of new officials coming in. That knowledge kind of just going away. It's not being passed down. And then, we're in this officiating shortage that we're in right now, which is going to affect everybody. Why do you think that we are at this point where these officials are not being replaced? We don't have a lot of young guys who want to come in and do the job. And how do we change that? Like, how do we get new people? How do we get this younger generation involved in it? Obviously, Braden, for you got to see your dad do it, but not everybody kind of has that. What kind of things are your friends and some of the younger guys that you talk to, what are they saying as far as why they don't want to do this?
I think it has to go a lot with, I don't know if they know how to get into it. And if I could use this as a stepping stone, this is one of the reasons why I kind of asked to do this. Because I think we need to get into the schools. So any school administrator that's watching this, any student of the game, any younger kid, any older person that has any interest in officiating, I'm an open book. Find me, find somebody that knows me, find me on social media, I don't care, and ask, and I will point you in the right direction. my main goal, and I don't throw Todd Schulte under the bus because, he was really good to me in high school, but I asked him a couple of years ago, and he has me basically assigning all his lower level games now for him, because it's hard to find officials. It really is. But I asked him, I said, can we start the ref reps in school? And so they kind of looked into it and had 3 kids sign up. So they didn't think it was feasible to do it. But what I said is, that's 3 officials we could have.
Absolutely.
And, now that it's easier to do it online on your own time, those are 3 people that I still could have reached out to, been a mentor for them, allowed them to do that. And then what I really would love to do is, we have enough older officials, I think, that understand the crisis that we're in and be willing to work some JV basketball with these people. So I think schools, if they have a plan in mind, if they put it in their school system and then have their students take the class, and then once they get done taking the class, have them work 3 to 5 games with an older official that's not going to let them screw up, okay? Yeah. That's going to make everything go okay, and then we can maybe retain these officials and, on the top of it, make a little bit of money.
Jeff and Braden, we're seeing games moved from Friday night to Thursday because of official shortage, or to Saturday morning, or not having JV games, or whatever the case is. And it's not getting better. What are we going to do if this trend continues?
My humbling opinion is you're gonna see more games canceled. You're gonna see.
Well, it seems like there's also more scrutiny on the officials that are there because they don't have enough help.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, sometimes there's baseball games that are one person. But I think, logically, and I talked to a couple of signers about this, we're going to have to either pay officials more, or we're going to have, you're going to see one JV official in a basketball game with 1 or 2 varsity officials. And then those varsity officials are going to end up doing the varsity game.
Right.
Well, but they're physically drained. Yep. They're going to be mentally drained. And are you getting their best effort? But that's the trend we're working towards right now.
Now, everybody wanted to know in the fall, and we asked this question too, if there's a shortage of officials, why did we add a 6th official to a crew? We asked you off air. It's a great answer, and I'm sure people watching have always asked, well, if there's a shortage, why is there a 6th guy now assigned to a crew?
Yeah, and that was something that the coaches asked for. They wanted a center judge to look for the low blocking stuff. And, like we talked off air, that's something that's easily done in Columbus and Cleveland and Cincinnati, where they have more bodies. Here where we are, we're lucky. Like, you get a varsity license like Braden is, you're getting snatched up like that.
Yeah.
Because that's what we need. We need subs, which we don't have any. So if somebody gets hurt or somebody has a family emergency, it's really hard as a crew chief to go find somebody to replace those guys.
Braden, you said, everybody was good to you this year, coaches and things, but, you're 18, you're a high school student, you're out there officiating games, and you're going to have to interact with adults, guys that are older than you, and then, kids and have been around. What's that been like? What's that dynamic like for you?
It's definitely been a challenge, though. Dad has helped me in a lot of ways. He's helped me to ask him a question. If you ask somebody a question, they're from here down to here. Now they're not screaming at you and they're like, oh, okay, maybe that happened. Okay. But it's definitely helped me mature, and my communication skills have got 100 times better just talking to older people. But it's a challenge, definitely.
What's been more difficult, talking to the coaches who are older or dealing with the players who are your same age?
It depends if I know them or not. Like, I had to work an LCC game this year, and I knew a couple guys on the LCC team, but I would definitely say the coaches, though. That's something you don't see. Yeah.
So how difficult is it? Because nobody likes to admit we've made mistakes, right? We all do make mistakes. So I've been on the sideline. I've seen a mistake. How difficult is it as an official when you have to talk to that coach, like, Coach, we just blew that one. We missed it. We can't go back in time and change it. How difficult are those conversations?
Early in my career, really hard. Being around veteran officials that I've surrounded myself with and handing that stuff down to Braden, to piggyback off what he said is, if I go up to you and you're like, Jeff, so-and-so did this and so-and-so did that. And I go, okay, if that happened, I missed it. And you watch their mannerisms go from here to here, like Braden said, and it's just something that has, been given to me by veteran officials that use that tool in their tool belt.
It's a great tool.
Right.
Yeah.
But again, in the classes that they make us take off online, you don't get those educational classes.
No, yeah.
And that's something that, needs to be done also.
Learning to deal with people.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So let me ask you guys one question, because we talked about the shortage and why there may be, and in my opinion, when I've talked to people about, hey, are you going to get into officiating, or do you want to do this, you want to do that? And I've done a lot of things around sports at a time, thought about getting into officiating. I think one of the biggest perceptions and one of the biggest hurdles people have is the quote unquote abuse, right? It's the fans, it's, the things that we see in the news and fans getting kicked out of games and the way that coaches speak with officials and things like that. What is, I guess, one of the biggest misconceptions you guys have seen when it comes to what people believe it's like being official, and how do you guys get people over those perceptions?
I guess when people see things, there's different angles to everything, right? So, if I'm watching number 67 pre-snap and number 55 false starts, he's not my read. That's somebody else's read. And maybe they got mixed up because they're, watching the center do something, or, the coach made a comment or the player made a comment saying, hey, they're chop blocking me, or they're holding me, or they every time they touch the ball, they travel. Like, there's so many things. Well, what do fans do? Fans always watch the ball. So wherever the ball is,
Right.
That's where the fans' eyes are.
3 seconds.
Yeah.
You're that guy.
That's my favorite call.
3 seconds,
Everybody
MVP.
screams
No,
3 seconds.
you have to count it out loud too. But again, I mean, there's so many things that we're watching that can be, critiqued. Even like a holding call. Like, we could call holding on every single play. It doesn't impact the play.
Yeah, right.
There's even a definition in our rule book, and I would get slapped if I didn't tell you this. There's a definition in our basketball rule book of what the definition of a foul is. The definition of a foul is that it prevents the offense or defensive player from performing their actual movements without hindrance. So if I go up for a basket and I get hit on the arm, 99% of the fans in there are going to go, that's a foul.
Yeah.
But if it doesn't hinder what I'm going to do, and I go up there and perform my natural action without being hindered, by definition, it doesn't fit our definition of a foul in basketball.
And you got to decide, do we want to be here till midnight?
Right. Right.
But do you think that is it as bad as what people think it is, as far as the things that you guys deal with when it comes to fans and coaches? Because that's what a lot of people don't want to get into officiating, because they're like, I don't want to take that kind of abuse. I don't want to be under that much scrutiny. Is it as bad as people believe, or do you think sometimes it just gets blown out of proportion?
To a point. I think it can be both ways. I think, we all can be better. We can be better as officials in talking to people. We can be better as fans, knowing that I wouldn't want to do what that person's doing. We could be better as game administration to deal with those things also. So I think a collective effort could make that situation even less scrutinized than what it is right now.
Now, Braden, is it true that you weren't allowed to officiate your first game until you got a 4-wheel case to wheel into the stadiums and the basketball?
No.
You have to have the 4-wheeler,
No,
don't
I'm
you?
not as professional as all the other guys. I say the backpack. That's all I
It is
do.
awesome in basketball when you see the guys with the 4-wheels, like, oh, the officials are here.
Well, guys, before Miles gets the rapid fire, how can anyone get into this and give us some advice on where to go and what to do?
Sure. So again, like I will use this as a plug to any school administrator that has any questions of how to get this into the school. I'd be willing to come into your school and talk at any time. But if you go into ohsa.org, there's a link on, I believe the top right, that how to become an official. And if you follow that stuff, and you can sign up right there, enter the Ready Refs courses, and just follow along. And again, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out.
Yeah, we have this at Waynesville Goshen, and I'll be honest with you, it's a lot better than study hall.
Oh,
The
yeah.
kids come in and they get right to work, and they're getting certified, and it's really cool.
And you do it at your own pace,
Right,
which is
right.
the next nicest thing.
Yeah.
And you got to get that metal whistle, right?
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
the one with the P.
No, you got to get a Foxfire, right?
Before
Fox
we get
40.
to those,
Fox 40,
yeah,
yes.
before we get to those rapid fire, Braden, has Dad ever officiated one of your games?
Junior high, yeah. But
Did you give him the old
It's a lot more tough on me. I feel.
Oh, I bet it is.
You know, like, and I will say too, like, you know, Braden can talk about the finance stuff of this too, right? But like, I'll say for like Braxton, you know, being 14 years old, and I used him on a JV game Saturday. We went to Marion Local, and Coach Goodwin was awesome with him.
That's
so
awesome.
Little 14-year-old running down the sidelines, and so he made like $60 there.
Hey.
Okay. And then we go back, and I assign our midget football in Delphus, and we had 4 games on a Saturday. And I asked Braxton, like, you want to do those too? He goes, yeah. So a 14-year-old kid on a Saturday afternoon made $360.
Hey,
Like,
how about that?
Sign me up.
Yeah, what's his number?
Tell me where else a 14-year-old kid or an 18-year-old kid can make like $360 on a Saturday. That's all right.
Before I get to the rapid fire, one last question, right? Do you get tired of going to like football watch parties and someone finds out you're an official and then the next thing you know, what'd you think of that call? Do you get tired of that?
That's more like when I'm with my friends and they're
Okay.
like, oh, I'll be in study hall and they'll be watching film and they'll be, hey, Braden, come over and look at this play. All right, well,
That's awesome.
That's great. All right, guys, number one for you. If you didn't wear black and white, what colors would you want to wear?
blue and gold.
Nice.
Blue Jays.
Nice.
See, on the women's side that I officiate, we have like a gray, dark gray with blue pinstripes. So,
Okay, you like that?
yeah, I think
Okay.
I think it looks cool.
Kind of looks like Star Trek.
Yeah, a little
you.
bit.
All right. All right. If you could get rid of one rule in any sport that you guys officiate in, what's the one rule you'd want to get rid of?
You got first. I don't know.
3 seconds.
You'd never have to hear someone yell it again.
All
3
the time.
seconds.
We talk about that all the
Yeah.
time.
What about you, Braden?
I feel like the chop block just confuses me sometimes. I feel like it's got to be like immediate and
Okay.
you got to go right on the snap. But that's something that I feel like you could change, but not much to get rid of.
As a former offensive lineman, I disagree.
But we watched that play the other day, and again, that's a different play in the NFL that they can.
It sure is.
Like we talked about, like I think Braxton asked that one big defensive lineman went that way and just got totally chopped, and he's like, "What?" And I'm like, "Well, they can do that in that league. It's just a federation rule." So
I know mechanics are a great part of officiating, so who does the best? It was a juggling catch out of you two. Who does the best?
That's
wanna see
definitely
it.
me.
Did you do it like 6 or 7 times a game? Yeah.
I don't get that much. I don't get that much at referee, so that's all the line of scrimmage back judge, guys.
All right, what is the best insult you've heard from the stands or from a coach?
I don't really hear insults because all they just scream at me is "You're better than your dad's."
That's awesome.
Fair enough.
That's awesome. Do you have a great chirp from the stands?
Not so much from the stands. I kind of, being in the middle of the field as a referee kind of helps me stay away from that.
Yeah.
Basketball, in a way, like I have a special talent, I guess, that I just kind of drowned it out. Now, you get me off air and let me tell you about a couple of Coach Kill.
Oh, Frankie.
Yeah, a couple conversations that Coach Kill and I had. It's
He's a little intense.
It's pretty comical,
Yeah, he's a
but
little
you know
intense.
what? Like him and Coach Tabler now, like I know Frank came back to the girls' side, so that's awesome to have him back. But those are two people that, we probably didn't see eye to eye when we first started and butted heads a little bit.
No, sure.
And, now we kind of got together, and it was Frank's idea. We started like a referee versus coaches golf challenge during
cool.
the summer. And we just got to learn each other's personality off the court. And it kind of built those relationships.
And
So
you like him even less.
I won't say that. We're cordial, put it that way.
Last one for you guys. Christmas right around the corner. Who's your favorite Christmas character ever?
I don't know.
The Grinch.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one.
The Grinch?
Frosty.
Come on. Classic.
Yeah.
What's wrong with the classic?
Santa Claus? Come on.
I guess
Santa
we get that.
So he did this whole thing.
The whole bit to see one of you guys say Santa Claus.
You now know Miles as well as anybody. He did the entire setup just so he could say that.
Santa Claus.
Jeff, Braden, before we let you go, do you guys remember your first technical that you gave, not
Yeah.
God? You do remember
I do,
it?
yeah.
Yeah, most officials do, don't they?
Yeah.
You giving one out yet?
Non-basketball, but I've had to throw somebody out in football though. That's
did you really?
Yeah.
Wow. Was that tough?
It was hard because it was younger, but it's not easy to do. especially when it's a younger kid. If it was varsity football, it's different.
His last name wasn't Garlock, was it?
Jeff ever gave me a technical when I coached basketball. Maybe not. Yeah.
No, but I remember.
Should have.
Probably warranted, but
Guys, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you for the
Best of luck.
opportunity. Yeah.
Absolutely, and hopefully you guys can get some more people out there. You guys are doing a great job, if nobody tells you.
thank you. We appreciate it.
Thanks, fellas.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
guys.
Thank you.
It's interview time here on the Three Wise Men, and a couple of Shawnee Indians join us tonight. Beckett Berkey and his dad, Nick Berkey. Guys, thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks for having us. Glad to be here.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's talk right. You just committed to the University of Findlay. Talk a little bit about that commitment and why the Oilers and why now.
So I received an offer sometime during the summer from Coach Scherns, and he took me on a visit, and he just really showed me like what it is to be an Oiler and why they really want me to be a part of their program. And he just showed me that he's willing to play freshman, that he really wants me, and that's what I really wanted in the program. And it took a while to figure that out and to make the decision, but I believe I made the right decision.
And Dad, Coach, you're excited about this, I'm sure. Did you help him through the recruiting process, or were you kind of, him and his mom were like, we're going to let you pick this, we'll guide you, we'll help you, we'll answer your questions, but this is your decision?
Oh, I think this is totally Beckett's decision. You know, we had thoughts of he's got to figure this out on his own. I mean, we had thoughts of what we thought were good programs, good situations to be in, and he had, I think he had several good opportunities.
Sure.
And kind of was that extra, that sounding board for him at time, and knowing our son and knowing what he's all about and what we think would be good for him, we think Findlay's a great fit.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there are some schools that he's not going to that would be a good fit as well. But we just felt like when he made that decision to commit to Findlay, we were pretty excited about it.
What are you going to study, Beckett?
Do something in business. I'm not fully sure yet.
Okay.
The business of making buckets.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's good.
Well,
Yeah.
and as dad, I mean, obviously you've been a big part of helping him grow into the player he is as coach and all those things. But it's also got to be nice knowing that he's going to such a good program in Findlay, but it's also just down the road. You're not gonna have to watch from afar. You'll be able to be there, and family and friends and everybody will be able to come and watch him, and it makes it a little bit more special when you know that you're still going to be right around the corner, but at such a good program.
Yeah, we're far enough away. He's far enough away. He can get away from mom and dad a little bit, away from home, but he's close enough to be around us. And you're right, being able to, that's one thing he mentioned as well as we're going through this process, that he wants his family to be there to help support him and be there to watch games. And boy, we're up the road. It's like a 45, 50-minute drive to get to Findlay from our house. And that didn't hurt things either. That didn't hurt things in this whole process either.
What is it about Charlie Ernst, kind of a fiery guy? I like him. What is it about him and his program, the way they run things? What is it that attracted you?
It's just the stability that he's had in there. I mean, he's had Coach Shardo there for 15-plus years. He's probably going to be the head coach next after Coach Ernst retires. And just like the ability for them to adapt. I mean, they've gone from just playing about 7, 8 guys to now their new play style now is going 5 for 5 usually, pressing the whole game, pushing, as much offensive play as they can, and that's what I really like that he discussed with me.
They've done a good job of recruiting the area, right? Jagger Landers is there, going to be a senior. Did you talk to some of the guys on the team and get a little bit of feel how they feel about the program?
Oh, I talked to a couple of them, and they just said it's great. They had great things to say. A lot of those guys are Northwest Ohio guys, so it feels really good for them to play for Findlay Oilers, and they're really proud of it.
Yeah, you look like you're excited about this.
Yeah, I am.
When you finally announced it, I mean, was it a giant relief? How'd you guys celebrate?
Oh, it was a giant relief for sure, and the way we celebrated was probably going on their book or their library and getting some clothes. Getting some clothes. That's probably how. A lot of orange. Don't have much orange
Dad,
and
we
black.
need some gear.
Mom cut loose and did some shopping.
Did you get some black and orange dunks?
No, I'm thinking maybe, but mostly clothes. But I mean, I don't really know if I like the black and orange for sales and ONU.
Right.
I don't know if I like it really.
Well, you did get those orange shoes. He did get. He did.
Yeah, I got some
make a deal with his
orange
mother,
Basel
didn't he?
shoes. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Are they bright orange?
They are bright orange. Coach Ernst likes them and he approves.
Becca, let's talk a little bit about the Shawnee Indians this year. By the time this airs, you guys are probably going to have a few games under your belt. You guys lost a lot to graduation last year, and your role has kind of changed. You've always been a leader, but, boy, now you're bringing some young kids along. Talk about that transition and how that's going for you guys.
Yeah, we definitely graduated a lot, and we're only bringing back 2 guys who played varsity minutes last year, and me and my brother. And it's just how I've grown as a leader is just being more patient with those younger guys. I mean, they're not going to get it right on the first try, and they're going to keep messing up. But it's just like taking them under my wing and just like guiding them along and being patient with them. I mean, that's the biggest thing that I've taken, and that they're going to get there eventually. It's just how they do.
Yeah, and Coach, you're on that coaching staff out there. This is a big transition year. Not that you guys can't do what you did last year, but you're going to see a lot of kids have to develop to do what you guys need to do.
Absolutely. You graduate 7 seniors that were hugely impactful
Really good
in
players.
the program. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Great team.
Absolutely. And the good news for us is we've got a lot of guys that have been in our program for a long time, and you know that system hasn't changed for a while, and what we try to do and what our expectations are, and so that's very encouraging. With the whole summer, our kids have been competitive. They compete. That's a good sign going into a season, and we're looking for lots of positive things, but it's going to be, I'm sure there'll be some growing pains as we go.
Can I ask you about you and Coach Triplett's relationship? I watch you guys a lot, and you guys seem to really, I mean, now Mark is a fiery guy. I've seen him get a few technicals here and there,
Yeah.
but you guys, do you always agree on everything? Or
No.
At times?
But that's a good thing at times, right?
No, we talk, and he and I talk about this all the time. That he's right there. He wears his emotions on his sleeve. He gets fired up easily.
Oh, I love
you know,
that.
and
Yeah.
I sit there and I'm. And I talk to them, my kids in health class. I'm sitting there saying, I'm just as fiery, and I get mad, and I get angry, and I get excited and stuff. But he shows it more, and I know he's going to. And I, sometimes having us both act that way and get fiery, sometimes good, sometimes bad, and trying to. I think we complement each other really well. Yeah. I mean, that guy, he's a very. Boy, does he care about those kids and really enjoy that side of it, and the relationships with his teammates mean a lot, with the kids he coaches means a lot, and. I think it's a really good combination, really, that we both bring to the table. We both care about kids and do it in different ways.
Different style this year? I mean, last year was amazing. It'd be 1-2 pass layup at times, right, for you guys. Still kind of run, or are you guys going to be a half-court team? What do you guys think?
I think we'll end up still running quite a bit. I mean, we didn't get any taller. I know that. Yeah. We lost some size from last year, and we've got some fast, quick, athletic kids that we'll probably try to get up and down still. I'm sure that's not going to change. It helps when you got some kids who can rebound the ball and bring it, and not have to find a point guard and bring it up the floor. And I would assume we're still going to be trying to defend like crazy and get up and down.
Beckett, since day one that you walked into the high school up there, Shawnee, there's been expectations. You've never shied away from them. You've always risen up to them. This year's going to be a little bit different. There's still going to be those expectations. Coming off of that fantastic season last year, obviously didn't quite end the way that you guys would have liked to. But coming into this year with you and your brother really being the focal point, a lot of people still thinking, hey, this is a Shawnee team. As long as they got the Berkey brothers, it can challenge for a WBL title. What's it like knowing that those expectations still remain with such a new team and so many new things that you guys have to figure out?
Oh, I love it. I mean, I think expectations are going to be really high with Shawnee basketball at all times, not depending on who's playing or not. I think it's great that we're going to get the best shot of every team that we're going to play, and it's going to push us down the long run for tournament, and I think it's going to make us a great team.
Who are some of the names of young guys that we should keep an eye on? That it's a good program. Just going to have another group of guys kind of step in, right? Who are some of the young guys that you got your eye and you say we need to be aware of?
I would say Sullivan Hastings, sophomore, and Cam Barker. He's a junior. He's real physical, plays hard, football player. Yeah.
Nice.
I watched Cam Barker last year in a JV game, and I think he had like 21 rebounds. I kid you. I've never seen a kid that relentless on the glass.
Yeah, it was against Lima Senior.
Yes, I was there. Yeah,
that's the game. He had about 21 rebounds. It was just ridiculous. I mean, what a difference maker in that game. And he seems to really love it.
That's your best friend, right?
I would say besides playing with my brother, he's probably my favorite player to play with.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, and Cam what he's done so far, he's relentless, and I think he's happy to be set screens and rebound.
Yeah, he's one of those guys who doesn't care if he shoots the ball. He just wants to rebound and screen.
Well, and to be a successful team, you have to have something. Right? There has to be somebody that wants to do that dirty work for everybody else. And the fact that you guys have somebody you think not only can do that, but wants to do that and enjoys doing it, I mean, it really going to set you guys up. You have a kid on your team that all he wants to do is rebound and get you the ball. Has he moved in with you yet?
Not yet. He's going to.
He's an honorary Berkey for the year.
Coach, you guys brought that game up last year, that Lima Senior game. I had the privilege of calling that game, and that was, for me, with all the athletes on the floor. But the one thing I did notice was you and Trevick both just excelled in that game, and it was almost like the competition is here. We're going to ball out. Is that how you feel every game when you get competition like that?
Yeah, I mean, I love when we play great competition because then I feel like I excel to that, and I mean, I always think I'm the best player in the court. It doesn't matter who I'm facing. Could be someone that's rated higher than me, is going to go to play at a better college than me. I don't care. I mean, I think when someone expects lower than me, I think I'm going to rise to that occasion.
I bet card games at your house or something, aren't they?
They don't end because if somebody gets mad.
Yeah.
Card games, board games are always they just someone ends up mad.
And mom was an athlete, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. What was her sport?
They get it from her. They get the competitive fire as much do from me. She might be worse. She might be worse. And I mean that in a good way.
Sure. Do you ever look in the crowd and just be like, sit down, sit down?
No, I don't focus on her a whole lot during games, and maybe that's a good thing. I don't know, but yeah, she's got it. She's got it just as bad as I do, if not worse.
Back at one team you want to beat worse than any team all year.
I would say Delphus St. John's.
Delphus St. John's.
Nice.
I think they've given us some beatings when we were middle school when we played travel basketball.
You had that one last year, didn't you?
Yeah, we should have had that one in the bag, and
Yeah, I had that game.
that's one of the games I wish I had back.
Who's your big rival at Finley? Who's their big rival?
Tiffin.
Yeah, I would probably say Tiffin.
Yeah, is it?
Tiffin.
That's when my daughter got her undergrad and her master's.
Hate dragons, right? Dragons are the worst. Can't stand.
It's the first time he's ever mentioned it, by the way. We none of us have ever heard that before.
I love my daughter.
Coach, when you look back at the recruiting of your son and the whole process, right? How proud of you at the way he's handled it?
Oh, extremely.
Yeah.
Extremely. I told him going in, it's kind of like dating a little bit. You show up and there's different people. There's suitors checking you out and everything else. You're checking other people, and then you kind of, there's ebbs and flows with it, and just to watch him go through it and let him kind of be his own man about it and make his decisions about it and ask questions when he has questions. And we're probably annoyed him at times because we had questions and things we thought of that maybe he didn't. But
Right.
I think he's understood that, and the conversations we have had is you probably ought to go someplace you get a chance to compete.
Right.
And a chance where you go someplace where you're going to have some success but that's Finley. That's Finley.
What was that hug like after he finally decided? He said, "Mom, Dad, I'm going to go to Finley," and you guys embraced. What was that like?
I actually called Coach Ernst that night and told him to commit, but I had to have him on speaker because my mom was videoing me.
Oh, that's great.
And so was my dad, and I think they were probably more excited than I was when I announced it, yeah.
That's got to make you feel special because I imagine their smiles were just through the roof.
Oh, yeah, it feels great.
Yeah. That's
So
great.
what kind of advice would you give other players? I mean, you got a brother that's going to be coming up too long after this. He's probably going to start the recruiting process before long. Other players that look up to you, what kind of advice would you give them as they go through this recruiting process? Things that you have learned, good, bad, whatever it was, that they can use to benefit them.
I would just say run your own race. I mean, I've tried not to look around the area and see, he's going there, he's going there. I just focus on myself and keep working and be the best person I can.
How was the summer this year with the young kids? Did you guys, everything work out okay?
Oh, it was great. Yeah, it was great.
A lot of camps?
A few, yeah.
So I saw a couple of team photos from some of those camps, and you're like, that is a very different team than what we've seen before.
When you go and you compete in AAU and like you're developing your game all the time, how much confidence do you get knowing that you have that crown that we gave you for the King of the Court tournament?
It feels good. I mean, none of those kids know I'm a 3 Wise Men champion. So, I mean, I got someone else underneath my belt. Yeah.
We took a lot of heat about that.
Well,
Stand by all of it.
Yeah,
Stand by all of it.
I stayed by that pick. Biggest area of development this past summer for you?
I would just say my ability to drive with least amount of dribbles and my ball handling. That's what I've kind of focused on because it's going to be a lot harder for me to score without as many playmakers on the floor, so I'm going to have to create more for myself.
Nice.
You get some rapid fire?
I do. All right, here we go. We got 5 of them for you. This one's for you, Beckett. What is Dad's biggest weakness on the court?
Weakness? Like right now?
Yeah.
Oh, definitely his jumper.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you see the disgust?
They're going home. And they're going home after this. They're going right to the driveway.
Yeah, we went to the gym yesterday, and first shot, he just like completely airballs it, and then he's like,
I didn't stretch.
and he's like,
They're not going home tonight. They're going to the gym right after this.
Yeah.
The third shot I took.
What is about
you made it, but like still, that's your
mobility?
yeah. His mobility is pretty bad, but
Other than that, you can't move or can't shoot. Coach.
Yeah.
You're still on fire out there.
Yeah. It's a lot of fun at home for you, isn't it, Coach? Man.
Guys are both Laker fans. Whose team is it, Luka's or LeBron's? Look at the anguish.
At this point, I'd say it's still LeBron's,
I do too.
but
I do too.
yeah, sadly, it's still LeBron's.
It's C, Austin Reeves.
Transition.
It's Austin Reeves. Best game sneakers you ever wore?
Oh, I'd probably say a Kobe 6.
Those are nice.
Oh, what do they call them? Mamacitas.
Yeah, those
got 2 dunks in those, so that's why I say that.
Nice,
yes.
nice.
Yeah.
Coach, Chuck Taylor's?
Not quite Chuck Taylor. So we did have some Nikes back in the day.
Did
and
you?
I can't remember the names on them. They're just regular. I didn't have fancy
We
names.
didn't have fancy names back then. No. They weren't $300 either.
No, they were not. They were not.
Some Converse.
I did have some Converse in middle school. I did.
Very nice.
Grade, I had some Converse.
Most underrated part of your game?
I'd say my most underrated part is probably my post-up game.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
I would say once I get in the low block, I think it's really hard to guard me. I have a lot of different moves, but I try to keep it simple and I feel like I'm really effective down low.
All right, Coach, what's the most underrated part of your game?
Best
Yeah,
part of mine?
yeah.
3-point shooting. No, not really. Not really.
No.
I was always a post player. That was my strong
Say,
suit.
Gail Doherty never let you shoot a shot.
No, I think I attempted shot clock winding down a handful of threes in my career, but it didn't go well.
In the family's prime, everybody's in their prime. You have the Berkey tournament one-on-one. Who wins it?
Well, I'll say out of boys, Jaren's finishing last.
Yeah, he's not.
Jaren's finishing last.
He's probably is finishing last. I'd like to think me.
I'd say myself because I have the 3 wise men belt. I'd like to say me. I'd like to say me.
Give me someone.
That's why he'll be here all the time.
Maybe we need a tournament for dads. So we get a chance to maybe a dad tournament.
I don't think we can get an underwriter for insurance on that.
Shaking on Coach Elwer.
That could be
I
problems
like
too.
how Becca's politicking for year 2 also. He knows we're going to have the tournament again. That's right.
Oh shoot.
Guys, best of luck this season.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming on the show.
And congratulations.
Yeah,
Yeah,
congratulations.
thank you.
And we'll be watching you next. Well, of course, we'll watch you this year, but super excited for next year and your college career. And you guys are doing it the right way. You really are. So congratulations.
Thanks. I appreciate you guys having us too.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.